latest football news,
engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Yes, hello, and welcome back. We have come back from our lovely little international break. Welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio, on our new permanent slot. It's very nice, isn't it, lads?
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I signed the contract. It's like a Newcastle contract. I signed it. I'm going to get Sports Direct mugs for the rest of my life. So who am I joined by today?
You have me, Piers.
And me, Dan.
So what have we got coming up in the show today?
We're talking about the Europa League and the amazing fixtures coming up tonight.
We're going to be talking about the Championship playoff final that happened on Monday.
Oh, and also the Champions League final, which happened this Saturday. And I forgot to mention we have a special guest coming on the show to talk about the playoff stuff. So it's going to be really nice. I have to say, I do like that sound, don't you?
The best place in Ipswich to hear the latest football debates, Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Yes, you did hear that right. This is the best place in Ipswich to hear all the latest football news. And now we're going to be talking about one of the very, very big final, bit controversial final, the Europa League final, which is held in Baku tonight about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you can watch it free on YouTube if you just search B and then T, and you can find it. So, Arsenal v Chelsea, a London derby, sorry. The last time there was an all English final in Europa League or UEFA Cup was in 1972. Do both of these teams deserve to be here?
Yeah, both the teams definitely do. I mean, both of these teams probably shouldn't even be in the Europa League. They've both come up against some hard competition. I think Arsenal have definitely had a harder run with Valencia and Napoli. Two teams that you could easily see in the Champions League as well, whereas Chelsea have only really gone to go through Frankfurt. All the other teams have been pretty bog standard for them, so they both deserve to be there, but I don't know if they deserve to be in the competition.
Yeah, I agree. I think they deserve to be there as well. I mean, they've been fighting for top four in the Premier League all season, so they do deserve to be in the Champions League as well. So to see them in the final, it's not surprising. As Piers said, Chelsea have had a bit of an easier run to the final than Arsenal, but yeah, I think they both deserve to be there.
Well, yeah, it's causing a bit of controversy, this final, isn't it, where it's held. We won't really go into that because it's not our place to talk about all the tickets and that. But you said Arsenal have had the harder run. They've played two of the favourites really in this competition, Napoli and Valencia. Do you feel they need to win this? Do you feel like this is their time to win something?
Yeah, if not, it'll be 3 years without Champions League. I mean, this is going to be their biggest game since 2006 when they played Barcelona in the Champions League final. So it's a must-win for Arsenal, really. And I wouldn't say it's a must-win to decide how Unai's season's gone, but I think it's important to see how the set of players have done since Wenger's gone.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think that if they don't win this, then it'll be quite a while until they're in a final again.
Yeah.
I don't really know how Arsenal fans think of Unai's season, though.
I think it's been a bit of a mixed season, really, because wasn't it at one point they were unbeaten at the start of the season, and then it sort of went wrong, and then it sort of picked up again, and then went wrong. Their way form isn't that great.
No. Didn't they only win 4 games?
It's something like that. I think they only won 2 in 2019 or 3, and that's quite crazy.
Yeah.
And I think they finished 5th in the end. Was it 5th?
Yeah, finished 5th in the end, yeah.
So I think this is something they need to win, and I've completely lost where I was there. Yeah, I don't know where I was, but no, this is quite big for Arsenal. But for Chelsea, it's also big because it can determine somebody's future.
Yeah, it is important, isn't it? I mean, Sarri's never won a cup or anything at any club he's managed. This could be Unai's 4th Europa League, so that's not a good start. And it's even harder for Sarri because he's missing 2 key players. He's been missing Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Callum Hudson-Odoi due to injury, who have got 8 goals between them in this competition, and Antonio Rudiger, one of his key centre-backs.
Yeah, it's going to be... I think going into the final, I think Arsenal will be favourites. I'm sorry, Piers.
I'm sorry as well. They are favourites, I think.
I feel like after what happened yesterday, was it yesterday?
Yes,
with
yesterday.
Sarri at the training ground. I guess we'll mention that a bit.
Yeah, we will.
In a minute. It's going to be... I feel like the pressure will be on for him. Yeah. I don't know what... It's hard to predict, though, I have to say that.
It's a funny one with Sarri, isn't it? Because he's come in... He hasn't done all too bad when you think about it. I mean, Chelsea were top of the league at one point. They were undefeated.
for like 1 week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Football went crazy at that point.
For 1 week, and I mean, we're in the Europa League final. We made it to the League Cup final, which our other manager made us lose. So it's been funny, and to have his career decided on one game is a little bit typical Chelsea. But I don't know what to think about him, and I don't know what most people think about him as well.
I think there's a lot of Chelsea fans that don't like him, and then there's some that say, "Oh, he needs more time" or something like that. But I think Chelsea's sort of going to get rid of him anyway. So what happened last night was, I think Chelsea were training. There was cameras rolling, and then there was sort of a situation. Higuain was tackled by Luiz, sort of a high tackle. They sort of had a little spat, and then Sarri, I don't know what happened. Then Sarri just threw his hat on the floor, walked off, then picked his hat back up, and got down the tunnel, threw it, and then kicked it. And he only said that day that he loved this group of players, but he just walked off like he didn't.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Chelsea brought out a statement saying it's because of the cameras they can do their set pieces, but I very much doubt he'd kick his hat and walk down the tunnel after something like that. It's a funny one, really, because it seems with Chelsea, the players control the club more than the manager. I mean, a prime example is to do with Kepa. And even when Jose Mourinho got sacked, he just won the league for them, and then he was sacked by December. It's a funny one with Chelsea. There's no loyalty for managers at all.
No, I haven't seen anything like this before. I don't think.
Neither I have.
This season's been crazy. Can I just say?
Yeah. This season has.
This has been the weirdest season. Yeah, I don't know. Is it showing that Sarri's not happy?
Nobody knows, because he did say about he'd rather leave or something than been sacked. But
Yeah.
I want to ask you something, Piers. Why did Chelsea go after a manager for, like, let's say 3 odd months? They get their man, and then 9 months later they get rid of him.
It's crazy,
It's
isn't
not
it?
how you function a football club.
Even when Antonio Conte first won the league with Chelsea, I still remember there was rumours saying that he was leaving.
Yeah.
Getting sacked. It's crazy. Chelsea go after a man, they play the nice football, and then if they don't win something that season, they're gone, aren't they? I mean, he's actually, when you think about it, he's done a really good job with the players he's got. He's got Giroud up top as his main striker. We lost Diego Costa.
God.
Michy Batshuayi is on loan. I mean, we brought Higuain in January, but to come top 4 is not too bad. But in front of Arsenal, Manchester United,
And Tottenham.
yeah, and Tottenham, yeah.
Yeah.
God, didn't we? I forgot about that on the last
I
game.
forget about that.
It's not a bad season, but obviously Chelsea fans want to win every trophy. Obviously, we lost in the Community Shield final and the League Cup final, so maybe that's why, and just his attitude, I reckon, as well.
Yeah, well, we better switch over to Arsenal, because we're sort of talking about Chelsea, because Chelsea have been causing more controversy. Arsenal tonight, we know it's Petr Cech's last game in an Arsenal shirt. I think a lot of fans want him to start because it's going to be his final game, but a lot of people don't, because they want Leno to start. But who's more likely to start, Cech or Leno?
I think Czech's more likely to start tonight, mainly because of that reason. It's his last game.
Yeah, and against Chelsea.
Yeah, and against Chelsea.
And he's going to go to
It's
Chelsea,
perfect.
says sporting director, I
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
It's a perfect way to finish his career. But I don't know. Both keepers have mistakes in them, I think. So if they're going to do it that way, I'm not sure who. But if they're going to start, I think they'll start Petr Cech because of that.
I don't think you can have any emotion going into the game, can you? If this is, like we said, this is Arsenal's biggest game they've played in over 10 years. They have to pick their strongest side. Doesn't matter if it's his last game ever or anything. I think he'll pick Leno, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, and also we should mention that Mkhitaryan is missing the game tonight because of political tensions between Armenia and Azerbaijan. It's too
We
political.
won't get into that.
Political stuff in football shouldn't mix,
No,
and he
no.
shouldn't be missing the game. But how much of a big miss will he be tonight? Another creative midfielder gone. Now going to have to rely on Mesut Ozil, and he's not been the best of people to rely on.
He wasn't too bad in the Valencia game, was he? The away
No,
leg.
but
Mkhitaryan's more of a good player to bring on as a sub. I mean, he's got 3 assists in the competition, but I don't think he's a dire player to miss out on. I think I'd rather Mkhitaryan miss out than Ozil.
Yeah, I agree as well. I don't think they'll miss Mkhitaryan too. Mkhitaryan. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, I don't reckon they'll miss him too much.
No.
I think if it was Aubameyang or Lacazette, they'd miss him more. But I don't know. I think there's players in his position that have got the same ability as he has.
I think they'd rather Mustafi missed the final more than
Yeah.
And then final moving point back onto Chelsea. Is it going to be Eden Hazard's last game, or Sarri's last game
Or
tonight, or both. Both of them might stay. Imagine
So
a
many
world where
different-
both of them just stay. It's going to be
People-
crazy.
The only thing people haven't said to them. I think with the ban, it matters how much Hazard cares about Chelsea, because inevitably he's got to go, hasn't he? I can't see Chelsea winning a Champions League anytime soon. But then, yeah, again, Tottenham are in a final.
Yeah, things happen.
I think maybe he'll stay till the ban's over, and then go. And then with Sarri, I don't think he would choose to leave. I think he'll be sacked.
But the ban is 2 years. It's 2 summer transfer
Yeah.
windows. That's I think you can leave, but Chelsea won't be able to bring anybody in. But they have so many people they could bring somebody in, find somebody on loan.
Might as well spend it for him, really. I mean, the best thing for him to do probably would be to leave, especially with all the Gareth Bale controversy at Real Madrid. He would fit in nicely there.
I think he wants to leave, but it's if Chelsea are actually going to let him go, because who's there as good of him to play where he can play?
Yeah, well, they put a price up of 130 million for him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I don't know. I think he probably is going to leave. He's been there for 7 years now.
Yeah, I hope you don't leave. I really hope
leave.
you don't.
And final question: who is going to be victorious in Baku tonight?
Arsenal.
Chelsea, we're going to win up.
Score lines?
Oh God. I'll say 2-1 Arsenal.
I'm going to say 1-0 Chelsea.
1-0
So
Chelsea.
Good defensive masterclass.
Arsenal win on penalties. There you go.
That'd be good.
Yeah, Jorginho's going to miss it because he's going to try and chip. That's what's going to happen. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Championship playoff final with our special guest and Dan, because Dan is our Championship expert. You know he does support Ipswich Town. Yeah, that's a bad thing. That is. Stay tuned.
Direct from the penalty spot, you can't miss it with Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Stay up to date with the latest footy news.
Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Yes, and welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. We're now going to be talking about the Championship playoffs. And shall we introduce our special guest? Oh, he's already just started talking. So who is it?
For you.
Yeah, you have spoiled the grand moment. It's like revealing the Nations League to everybody. It's like, oh, another tournament. So who is it?
It's me, Harry, or
Oh.
Hazel, whatever you want to call me.
We'll call you Harry, the Derby fan. There we go.
Yeah.
So Aston Villa played a derby on Monday. Was it Bank Holiday Monday?
Yeah, it was.
I've already forgotten the days already. And Derby unfortunately lost against Aston Villa.
I was there
You were there,
at
yes.
Wembley.
How was it?
It was very good, actually. It was a very enjoyable day. On the way up there, one of the Villa fans gave me a lager, so
He's just happy.
complain. Yeah, so to be fair, the Villa fans, they're not bad. They're not too bad of a bunch of fans, really. But yeah, it was quite an experience going up there. And once we're there, it's just phenomenal. I just can't imagine what it's like.
I'm very jealous.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, even when they scored that, I was still like, amazed.
I went ballistic, yeah. Even if it was just a one goal, yeah, it was amazing. And,
But no.
yeah.
It was quite a good final for a Championship playoff. Yeah, I thought it said Champions
was.
League for a second there.
It was very end to end.
Yeah, I thought that as well. So Aston Villa won. What has Dean Smith done this season? Because when he came in the 3rd of October, they were 12th. And they're now in the Premier League. What has he done?
Well, he's done really well, hasn't he? I mean, I'm not really sure exactly what he's done specifically, because at Brentford he didn't really do amazingly. I mean, Brentford are a good side.
He got me in the playoffs once, didn't he?
Yeah, once. I don't know how long he was there for. A couple of years.
I'll have a look. Should I do a
But-
little bit of
yeah, go
research
on.
here?
On air
You,
research.
don't know.
you talk and I'll just research.
Didn't Brentford get in the playoffs same year as Ipswich? didn't
Yeah,
they?
I don't think they had Dean Smith then, though. I
No.
think it was Mark Warburton. But
I think you're right there.
yeah. But I'm quite surprised that Villa went on this run towards the end of the season. And I mean, they have John Terry as well.
And Tyrone Mings.
And Tyrone Mings. That's
Blues
probably.
player.
I think he brought his style of play from Brentford to Villa, and obviously that works. And I think loan signings have obviously helped them this year as well. So, yeah.
Well, he was at Brentford from 2015 to 2018.
Okay.
So he's been there for a fair few years. It's been a good first season for Frank Lampard, but what went wrong in the final, Harry?
Well, I thought his team selection, it wasn't like, it didn't scream like he wanted to win it. He kind of was a little bit defensive at the start, playing Bennett instead of Marriott or Waghorn. I thought was the wrong option. A lot of the fans agreed with me. And I think he just made a bad error there. I think, and he's going to regret that one. I reckon.
Do you think he's going to be there next season? Because there is the big talk. There is the big talk of him leaving.
He has a 2-year contract, and he apparently will stay for another year. But whether he could be tempted if the result tonight is in Arsenal's favour.
I wonder if he's there watching it. Like, did you drop it? So wasn't he watching?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to be there tonight, like urging, "Come on, Arsenal! Come on, Arsenal!"
I don't think Frank Lampard will leave.
I don't think he's ready.
Yeah.
He hasn't won anything yet. He needs to win something for Derby, like the Championship or the playoffs, if he's going to get a bigger job for me.
Well, we said that about Dave Moyes, and look what happened there. He hadn't won anything, and he got Manchester United job, 6-year contract. I always will remember that.
Is there still another year on that? I think there is.
They're probably I reckon there is. You know, I still feel like there is. But no, but that's quite. Well, Derby unfortunately missed out, but Villa star man has been Tammy Abraham this season. 25 goals and 3 assists, and he's on loan from Chelsea. Is it likely that Villa will try and strike a permanent deal with Chelsea?
It's a lot of money, though, isn't it?
It's going to be a bomb, but they've got 170 odd million.
Young English striker is going to cost a lot of money.
He is 21 still. I feel like he's been around forever.
Yeah, he's a funny one, but then Chelsea have got their ban as well. So,
whether they're gonna sell anyone, whether they're gonna give us Tomori back, I don't know. Because Tomori is ready for Premier League, in my view, and Mount and Wilson are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Do you think it'll happen?
I'm going to say no. I don't think Villa will be able to sign him again.
No.
It's money and the transfer ban together. I think they'll keep him.
Especially with Chelsea's striker problem as well. But if he wanted to go, he seems quite happy there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's quite happy. Also, Mings quite happy there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to stay or not. I think he probably will, won't he?
He'd be better off going there, I reckon.
Than Bournemouth. See, good old Aston Villa fans. What about the challenges that Aston Villa are going to face in the Premier League next season? Because it's going to be a tough season.
Did you hear the fan on Talk Sport? He said they're going to get top 4.
Oh yeah.
What an absolute moron! Come on.
That sounds like they want a trophy for that one. No, but what challenges are they going to be facing in the Premier League? Because the last time they were in the Premier League was before the big money boom. Is this going to be a tougher campaign than when they got relegated?
Well, at least they won't be favourites to go down, I don't think. I think Sheffield United will definitely be. Then maybe Brighton.
And Norwich.
Yeah.
Yep, and
maybe.
Norwich. Definitely Norwich.
Stay Norwich because we're in Ipswich right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dan hopes. But it's just because they'll be losing so many key loan players, I think will be their main problem. It matters who they can sign. They'll get a lot of money from winning the playoffs.
I think it's 170 odd million they get.
I mean, in the last 3 years they've been in the Championship, they've spent 100 million.
That's a lot for the Championship.
It's a lot,
isn't
isn't
It is. It's the same with Derby. Spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
We've got nowhere.
Let's back up. What challenges is Derby going to face next season? Because I've heard about the parachute payments gone.
That nosy Middlesbrough owner keeps moaning about us. I wish he'd stop, even though he literally did the same thing in 2016, and he's moaning about us doing it now. Where's the logic there? What? It's just sour grapes. It really is. That's all it is.
Well, I heard about the parachute payments that's going next season? I've heard.
Yeah.
How much of an impact that's going to be on Derby?
It's going to be a big impact. We're going to have to get lower league players again, which...
Oh, you don't want to do Ipswich Town.
No, thank you, George. Can you stop, please?
Oh, God.
You can't help yourself, can you?
Our ex-championship expert over there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, we've got to get some gems from League One, League Two. It might help us, but you've got to spot the right players, haven't you?
And it is a risky business.
I think they'll be alright, won't they? Derby's a big club. They've got a big name, Frank Lampard. They've been in the playoffs too.
Our under-18s have won the Premier League, so maybe get a few of them.
Yeah, so...
You might as well try it, mightn't you? And just see what happens.
But there's also a few lone players like Wilson and Mount that I think you'll miss next year.
Wilson's going to go for 25 million, I think, to I'm going to say Bournemouth. I reckon.
Will be another Jordan Ibe.
Jordan Ibe.
And a Dominic Solanke. Oh.
Was he on loan at Derby? Jordan Ibe?
He was.
Yeah,
and they recalled him back. He was just hitting form and they called him back.
I think we called back Woodburn from Sheffield United this year or something like that. remember Wisdom was on loan at once at Derby.
He's
Wisdom.
nowhere now. He
I-
didn't even make the playoff final team. He wasn't even on the bench.
I thought he started.
He's out, I think.
Oh, he must have been that bad.
Yeah, he's about to go.
I thought he was actually decent. I've never seen him play.
We've got Jaden Bogle, we don't need him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mind you, he could be leaving, so...
Yeah, he's
Who
quite
knows?
young. Where did he go? Premier League
I
side?
hope not, but I hope it's not Burnley. I really don't want to see him going Burnley. I mean, Vidra's already gone there and ruined his career, so...
I feel like Burnley is a place where everyone goes to ruin their
We've
careers.
sold Hendrick, we've sold Vidra. It's going to be Bogle next, probably. Hope not. I really hope not.
No. Yeah, so Wilson going. What about Mason Mount? Is there any likely chance he could go back on loan to Derby, or is this Chelsea transfer ban going to be too restricting?
I don't know. I think Mount going to Derby is more likely to happen than Abraham going to Villa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's sort of it's this transfer ban, isn't it? You don't know what it will, how will it will impact impact their transfers out as well.
Even if they don't get him, Derby is still going to be one of the biggest clubs in the Championship next season, aren't they? When you think Villa and Norwich have gone up.
You still got Middlesbrough, West Brom.
Yeah.
Cardiff's going to be there.
Lincoln are going to be there.
Fulham.
Fulham. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huddersfield Town. With Jan Sievert, as I like to say.
I still think Derby.
Huddersfield have got no chance.
Yeah, I don't think
I
they'll get
really
back.
don't think they've got a
Nah,
chance.
They could do a Sunderland, really.
I think they will.
Oh, good old Sunderland.
Can't wait for Series 2.
I can't as well. I'm looking
Pumped
forward to that. I actually am as well. It's going to be the really good finale. It's just going to be this moment where the goal goes in. It just goes.
That is going to be brilliant. I can't wait to see them crying on Netflix again. We saw you crying on Netflix. Crying on
God.
Netflix.
I love that. But what about Tomori? I know he's another Chelsea player. Is he more likely still to come back or not?
I think he's more likely than the other two.
Really?
I don't know. It comes back to the transfer ban again, doesn't
I know.
It does.
it? It's always going to come back to that.
Why do they loan everybody from Chelsea? Just come on.
I mean,
How many
they've-
loans
they've
of Chelsea?
They've got a loan manager, apparently.
He's got that 5-year contract just waiting to sign.
Yeah.
Get sacked after 6 months and it'll
Yeah.
just keep running. It's like Sarri earlier was talking about. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Harry, and talking
No
about
worries.
Derby. Well, I hope you have a good next season.
Yeah, fingers crossed, we'll be sixth again. Third successive year. Sixth.
Sixth.
That's what we're aiming for, lads.
Oh, God. You'll make it third time lucky, don't they say? Third
No,
time lucky?
Third time lucky.
Third
That
time
would be third time. So.
I'm trying to think of a town joke, but I can't think of any.
Can you not think of an Ipswich Town joke, please?
No, I can't actually now. I've just gone all blank.
You must start writing them down.
Yeah, I must. Maybe I might just start referring to Norwich, I think. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Champions League final. Well, one of the most strangest finals I think we've seen in a long time.
Come on, you Spurs!
That's why he's going off the show now.
Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Yes, and welcome back to IO Radio. Well, thanks to our special guest Harry for coming on and talking about Derby's, well, unfortunate loss in the final.
Made
You had
interesting
to word
radio.
that carefully, didn't you?
I did actually, because I didn't want him to come back in and just sort of go pow in my face with a fist this time. So Saturday, it is. I don't know how to put this into words. One of the craziest finals in years. The Champions League final. I want to ask you one question: who would have predicted Tottenham and Liverpool in the Champions League final?
It's probably one of the biggest English games in 10 years, isn't it? In over 10 years. Like, two English sides going against each other. It's absolutely massive. I don't think anybody would have thought Tottenham, probably not even Liverpool, to make the Champions League final again, because both teams were close to going out of the groups, weren't they?
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. If someone came up to me a year ago and said next year Tottenham will be in a Champions League final, I would have gone, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Definitely.
You've just gone. Are you crazy?
Yeah. It's so. I can't believe Tottenham are there.
And without Kane.
And without Kane. Good point.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows. I'm still speechless that they're actually here. So Tottenham. So we'll go through Tottenham first. So their run to the Champions League final was Borussia Dortmund, Man City, and Ajax. Quite a tough run. I think in all their matches they were the underdog. In all their matches, I think. Maybe Dortmund not.
Yeah, Dortmund, they done all right, but I mean, the Man City game and the Ajax game, they lost. No, they didn't actually. They
won
no,
against
they won
Dortmund
it.
3.
Yeah, they lost against Ajax in the first leg, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
1-0, wasn't it?
But to come up against the champions of the Netherlands and the champions of England and to go through, I mean, they've done really, really well. It hasn't been an easy run. I think Liverpool have had a harder run, but for Spurs and with the injuries they've had, and that they didn't even buy anybody this summer.
Yeah, the
It's been amazing.
last signing was Lucas Moura, and he scored a hat trick against Ajax. I read something quite funny that the person that sold Lucas Moura to Tottenham was Unai Emery at PSG.
Oh my god.
So every Arsenal fan has been trying to butcher that meme out of their brain, but I think every Tottenham fan's going to remind them of it. But how big is this for Tottenham, Dan?
Massive. I mean, it's their first ever Champions League final.
I know.
So for them to win it, that would be amazing for them, wouldn't it?
They'll make a DVD book documentary. The whole stadium would just have like Champions League winners.
A film.
This will be the biggest game in their history.
Yeah. Well, the furthest they've ever made it was the quarterfinals in 2010-2011 season when they lost to Real Madrid, and then before that was the group stages, and then the second round. So they've never really had a run like this before.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like you said, this be Tottenham's biggest game ever. I'm sure there might be a little bit of pressure those players must be feeling. So I feel the Liverpool players might feel a little bit easy. But then, yet again, they might have even more pressure because they lost it last year.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Don't speak about that German player ever again. So with Tottenham, they've done really well. They haven't had Harry Kane, which has been quite a big thing. There is rumours that he's going to be back fit in time. How important will he be for that Tottenham? And will he start? Or does Pochettino go, right, no, you're not going to start, and play what he's had against Ajax and Man City?
I think it's a tough one because you always want to start your strongest squad, and of course he's the strongest striker at Tottenham. So will he risk it and go for Harry Kane, or will he put him on the bench and bring him on? I don't know, but I think he has to start.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Harry Kane's got 5 goals in 8 games in the Champions League, but then yet again Spurs have looked so good without him, haven't they? The form they got in with Moura and Son seems so open, they can free flow, and it doesn't seem like they're just directing it towards Kane. I mean, even Dele Alli looks better. He looked really good in that second leg against Ajax. So, but then again, it's Harry Kane, the best striker out there at the moment. So it's do you pick him or not? I wouldn't. I'd have him as a sub and then bring him on maybe at half time if it's 0-0 or they're down a goal.
Just that key man to come and be the danger man, really. With Pochettino, he was on about retiring. There was a rumour he said about retiring if he wins the Champions League. Do you feel that could happen if he does win the Champions League, retire?
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, like you said, what else could you do with that Spurs squad? They definitely won't be good enough to win the league. Well, I say that, but they're in the Champions League final.
Well, I was thinking of something last night. If they win the Champions League, do they now be considered as a top club in England?
Yeah, definitely.
With Man City and Liverpool. Do you really think that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, they're Champions League winners, aren't they? You have to be. They'll be up there with their rivals Arsenal, and Arsenal will be in their shadow.
Controversy.
God, I'm just waiting for the door to be kicked down by some Arsenal fans. So do you think he actually will retire if they win?
I don't know, to be honest. I can see it happening, but I also can't at the same time. I mean, obviously you can't do much more with that Tottenham team. And he said that if he wins, he's going to leave. Will he go to a different club? Maybe. It's probably more likely that he'll retire, though.
I mean,
I'd say.
He's a young manager. He shouldn't really retire, should he?
No.
No,
Yeah,
but then you can go, he's done it. He'd be like, I'm undefeated.
Yeah.
You could just be like, I'm undefeated. You're not coming after me. So now moving away from Tottenham, I'm going to move to Liverpool. They've had a bit of a tough Champions League campaign as well. Not been, I'd say, as lucky as Tottenham.
No.
Tottenham have come back from a lot, but Liverpool have had a very strong campaign. Tottenham and Liverpool finished second in their groups. They're going out in the final match day.
That's mad.
That is crazy.
That is crazy, yeah.
And they've beaten, I think Liverpool have had Bayern Munich, Porto, and Barcelona. I think everybody remembers Barcelona.
Yeah.
I'm still speechless from that game. are they the favourites? Because they came into it last season when they played against Real Madrid as the underdogs, and they ultimately lost because of that man.
Carries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are they the favourites? Should they be considered as the favourites? And is it their time now to win something?
Yes, I think they are favourites. It's hard because Tottenham could come into this game and play well and win, but I feel like Liverpool will be favourites. I feel they've got a stronger squad. They did amazing against Barcelona in that game, so I'm going to say they are favourites going into the final.
Liverpool are definitely favourites, but I think you have to look at Jurgen Klopp's track history in the finals of Liverpool.
Yes.
Unfortunately, and I mean Liverpool's last 2 finals in the Champions League they've lost as well. But but I think they're definitely favourites. They've got the better side, the better goal scorers. Overall, I think they're a better goal scoring team. And I mean, the last 5 times they've played Tottenham, they've won 3 of them, and they're just Liverpool, one of the best teams out there in the world at the moment.
But does it look like it's going to be a very cagey final? Because Liverpool won both the games this season against Tottenham, but there were only 2-1s. So is this going to be a very sort of tense final? Are we expecting?
I feel like most finals are tense, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but are we expecting a very sort
And
of
it's
tight,
Man City
cagey final with the scorelines we're seeing before in this season?
I don't know. I think it will. Yeah, I think it will be closer than people think it. Because you can see Liverpool going and winning 4-0, but I think that it will be closer. I don't think it'll go to extra time, but I think it'll be close.
You don't know, do you? It's a final. Anything can happen on a final, unless it's like I said, Man City playing Watford. Then that wasn't much of a cagey game, but Liverpool, like you said, Dan, you could see them just going 3-0 up at half time and it's game over. But there's something about these 2 sides this season that they've come over adversity so many times against so many teams. It's like if one team goes 2-0 up, you can't even say that they've won. If Liverpool went 2-0 up, you could see Spurs come back, same if it was the other way around. So I have no idea what's going to happen.
I don't know. Well, Jurgen Klopp did his Champions League press conference yesterday, and he was asked about Naby Keita and Roberto Firmino if they're going to be fit enough for the final. Naby Keita isn't going to be fit for the final. Apparently, there's no chance. I hope there is a little chance, but apparently there's no chance. But Roberto Firmino is apparently going to be fit and ready for the final. How important is that going to be, Roberto Firmino back? And how much of a miss is Naby Keita going to be?
He's a key player, isn't he? Firmino. I mean, Keita, he's hit some good form recently, so it's a shame, but I don't think they'll miss out on him too much.
No, yeah, as Peter said, I think Firmino's crucial, and for him to be fit for the final, that'd be good for them. Keita's kind of a weird one because he didn't have a very good start of the season, did he? Not a lot of people like him, but he's picked up form.
It's a bit like Fabinho, who was. I think
Yeah.
Fabinho sort of took time to come into the team, and Keita took longer, but then Keita got good, and then got injured, and then got good, and then got injured, unfortunately, again.
But I think Liverpool can do well without him anyway. So
Yeah, so I was just having a look, but there's something I just looked at my concerning stats here, that Jurgen Klopp has never won a game in Spain. 6 games, 3 draws, 3 losses. Is that going to be haunting him going into this final? Considering his final record as well.
I don't think you have to believe those stats. Stats like that, I don't think you should worry about. I think there's a task at hand. And, shouldn't. They're going to lose 4-0 now. There's a task at hand, and they need to follow that, don't they? They don't need to think about what's happened before. They just need to go there and do what needs to be done.
yeah, I agree. I don't think you should look at them stats like that. I know you are, and you look worried, but
I'm very worried.
yeah, Liverpool are favourites. They just need to go there and get the job done, in my opinion. As Peter said.
Yeah, well, I should ask a question, because it's actually, I realised it's both of these sort of Pochettino's era and Klopp's era. Who needs it more? Who's going to need this more? Because they've been around for the same amount of time in managing their teams, but who needs this more?
That is a really hard question.
I'm sorry, I just thought that one on the spot.
I was like, what?
Thought that on the spot.
God.
That's good.
I haven't even
That's good
thought
presenting
about
by that is.
Yeah, that was very good presenting. Do you know what? I'll say that they both need it the same amount.
Just bad.
But whoever wins, it's gonna be amazing for them. I'll say Klopp, because if Pochettino retires, then he'll just go off with that. If Klopp wins the Champions League, then Mate, I don't know. I'm just going to keep it at that.
I mean, they're both loved by all their fans. They've been there for years. They're both going to keep their jobs if they lose. They're not in a sorry situation. But, I mean, it's a hard one. Because
It's so
Spurs got this
hard.
new stadium. They need to win something. But then, yet again, Jurgen Klopp has spent all this money. He's had these years. He's been to these finals and not won anything yet. He does need to prove himself, especially with just missing out on the league when they were 7 points clear. So maybe it is more on Klopp. But then, yet again, Pochettino needs to prove that.
And also Liverpool were in it last season,
Yeah.
Champions League final, and they lost. Well, I want to say because of one man.
But then, if Jurgen Klopp didn't win it and say, look, you could show how much of a change he's made to Liverpool since Brendan Rodgers. So, like Dan said, I think they both need it just as much.
Both need it. Well, I'm going to ask you for the winners and score line, and if it's going to have to go to extra time or penalties.
I was going to say Liverpool, but after what you kept saying in the last
Yeah.
bit, I'm going to say Tottenham now.
Thank you.
Tottenham are going to win 1-0.
Cheers.
I think this might be like a surprising final. I'm going to go for a 0-0. It's going to go to penalties and Liverpool going to win.
God. I'm just going to say Liverpool. I'm not going to say a scoreline. I'm just going to say Liverpool. So when we come back, we're going to be talking. Well, we've got a little quick sports roundup, little thing, where I asked you some little news stories which are unfortunately not worthy enough of a big debate, and I just asked you about your thoughts and opinions on that. Sounds pretty good. It's a little feature. I want to see if it works. I don't think it's going to work, but we can try.
Kicking off opinions on IO Radio.
Pitchside Talk, footy debate from the Premier League Outback.
Yes, you heard that right. This is the Premier League Outback, and this is IO Radio with Pitchside Talk. We're now going to do a little sort of a new feature I thought of last night. It's a quick sport roundup. So there's some bits of news that's happened this week and sort of last week that I haven't thought that should really go into the main debate.
I haven't got it on my
notes because I thought of it last night.
Surprised.
So the first one is Bielsa is staying at Leeds. I repeat, Bielsa is staying at Leeds.
You
These
sound
fans
very
can't-
surprised.
I'm as well because I thought he was leaving.
Yeah.
He's extended. He's signed a 2-year contract, but one with an extension on review. Do you think that is a good sort of decision by Leeds to keep him? Where they finished, well, they were first for a long time. They won the championship in September, according to them. Lost to Derby, had the Spygate, had this controversial thing with Aston Villa, and probably someone else.
I think it is a good decision by Leeds to keep Bielsa. Looking over all these controversial things, his football is good. And he can, I think if he has time to get the players he wants this in the summer, Leeds will get promoted to the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
If there's more of this controversial stuff, maybe they'll think, I don't know, that we'll let him go at the end of the season. But has he got a year and then he can extend it?
Yeah, that's what I think he signed. So he's done 1 year, and then I think there's extension on review.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say it's a good decision by Leeds, personally.
Yep.
I mean, Leeds are already known for controversy all the time,
Yeah,
so I'm not
true.
sure they're too worried about. I think they've definitely got to keep him. I mean, they did lose to Derby in the playoffs, and they did drop towards the end, but he's still a good manager, and he's done well for them. I mean, he's actually turned Leeds around because Leeds play some really good football, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I think he's definitely.
Except at Portman Road.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us.
Maybe they shouldn't give it to him.
Oh God.
But apart from that, yeah, I think he's a good manager. I don't think they'll keep him long term though.
So with him staying, are they now likely to win the championship or even to go up? Let's just say
No, I don't think they'll win it.
no,
I think
or to go up.
Leeds are just going to do it again, aren't they? Unfortunately, they're a bit like a Derby. I don't know if you've ever seen that photo, like Mr. Burns, that plaque. It's like you're here forever. That's what's just going to happen.
I do think that next year the Championship is going to be very competitive. There's lots of good teams. I mean, even Luton going up, I think they'll be good in the Championship next year.
What?
I know. I actually do. I can see them doing well. So, yeah, I think it's going to be very competitive. It's hard. I think Leeds will win the playoffs, I'm going to say. I think they'll win the playoffs.
Championship's the best league in the world, isn't it? Anything
It is.
can happen. I mean,
Yes.
the year before Huddersfield got promoted, I swear they finished almost just out of the relegation.
Yeah, they did.
Same
Yeah.
with Fulham and Brighton.
Yeah.
So you don't know. And there's always one team that comes up that does well. So I'm not too surprised about the Luton comment.
Okay, well, next news story we have is Newcastle takeover. There's apparently big talks that the cousin of the Man City owner, Sheikh Mansour, Sheikh Khaled, I think that's how you say it, is rumoured to buy Newcastle for £350 million. Is this going to be good for Newcastle? Are they seeing money coming in for once?
Well, I think they need it because Mike Ashley, he's
Don't do a Rio
Newcastle-
Ferdinand here. Don't do a Rio Ferdinand, please.
I know how Newcastle fans hate him, so I think they'll be glad to see him leave. Obviously, I feel like it'll be a bit controversial, but I think in the long run, it'll be good for Newcastle. This money.
At least Newcastle fans won't be getting their bees and Sports Direct money anymore.
Yes.
Down the
Get my
stadium.
Etihad Hadaways all the way.
I think it's an amazing thing for Newcastle because they've got everything right to be a big team in the Premier League. They've got the stadium, they've got the fans, they've got the history. Even just the look and the identity of Newcastle, you could see them in Europa League or even possibly if they do well the Champions League. And I think with the money they've got and even the manager they have is a great manager. Rafa Benitez is an amazing manager. He's won a lot in his career, and I think with money coming in, which obviously they will give him, that I think Newcastle could be a top side.
And we're sort of referring to Rafa Benitez there. Will Rafa stay? Because his contract's out in a month's time. And if this takeover happens, is it likely he's going to stay?
I mean, they have to keep him, don't they?
Yeah.
He's a great manager. They'll be stupid not to keep him, in my opinion.
It'll be up to him. But then I think he loves Newcastle.
Yeah.
He's a loyal. He seems to be. He is a loyal manager, isn't he?
Yeah, he's loyal at Liverpool.
Yeah. Only went to Chelsea.
Chelsea didn't sort of go well. You wanted him out, and he was quite good there, I thought. So with that happening, where do you think he can take Newcastle if there is going to be a takeover Rafa Benitez?
Definitely European football. If Wolves can do it, Newcastle could definitely do it. I don't know about Champions League thing like that. That's a bit much for now. Let's just see how it goes. But I think they could definitely get into the Europa League qualifiers.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's looking up for Newcastle. If this is actually going to go ahead, I can see them being in Europe as well in the future.
Wow. So the next news story is Kieran Trippier has been dropped from the England squad. But 12 months ago, he was scoring goals left, right, and centre in the semi-final. But he's now been dropped from the Nations League squad. How much of an impact him not being there can have on the team?
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one because we've got Walker and Trent,
Yeah.
who can play right back,
And Wan-Bissaka
and
come through.
Wan-Bissaka coming through as well. So I'm not surprised that this has happened. Actually, he hasn't. I don't know. He hasn't. Has he been playing for Tottenham as much recently?
I don't think as much.
No.
I'll have a quick look.
He played a bit in the league, didn't he? And then he hasn't
Yeah.
been amazing, has he?
No,
I mean,
he
I
hasn't.
remember him, he scored an own goal at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
But he's compared to Trent, I don't think he's anywhere near him, is he?
No, I don't
mean,
either. Definitely not.
The way Trent's played this season has been absolutely amazing, so I can see why he's been picked over. And then Walker has won the league with Man City.
Well, he's got 27 matches in the Premier League, 1 goal and 3 assists. So
It's not terrible, is it?
no,
No.
but it's. I think if you look at Walker's and sort of Trent's stats, you kind of go, you can see why. But there is big rumours that he is rumoured to leave to go to Naples. That's a bit of a weird place to go, isn't it?
I think that would be good for him, though. He'd definitely get football there.
Well, he'd be with
That's-
Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
True.
not like he's not a bad manager, is it?
No, exactly.
I think that would be really, really good for English players. Seems that Jadon Sancho's already in Germany. You might as well just get him out there. He might do well.
He might do
He
well.
probably would, to be fair. He is a good player. There's nothing against that. I think he'd do all right there.
Well, that's the last point of the show because we unfortunately have gone for extra time. The referee is about to blow his whistle for the end of the match, or the end of the show, actually. Sorry, I should say. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We will be back on, but not next week.
Oh.
Bit busy.
Just a little
A
bit.
little bit busy. Something called the Nations League has come up. It's this little tournament England are in, and it's coming home. So gotta get ready for that one. So we will be back in 2 weeks' time. I don't know what we're going to be talking about. Some transfers, I reckon. Transfer news. there'd probably be something that some big person would go Eden Hazard to Ipswich Town, something like that.
Yeah, I reckon.
I wish.
On loan, something like that, I reckon. But well, thanks for joining us on the show today. I've been George.
I've been pleased.
And I've been Dan.
Yeah, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.
Cheers.
Ciao.
The whistle has been blown for full time. Tune in next week for another jam-packed show.